find a nice, comfortable place to sit. Or get yourself all snuggled up in your bed. And allow your eyes to gently close and just focus on your breathing. So take a deep breath in and then slowly and gently let the breath out. Again, deep breath in and then slowly and gently let the breath out. One more time, deep breath in and slowly and gently let the breath out. Now just relax. Just relax. Bring your breathing back to its normal rhythm. And just feel your chest rise and fall gently. Now imagine yourself surrounded by a beautiful white light. A light so bright, so pure. A light of protection and peace. Breathe in this white light and feel it as it enters your body completely. And it makes you feel all warm and safe. Now imagine yourself sitting in a large green field, and the sun is shining brightly, and it's a very beautiful clear day, and you can see for miles and miles around. How far can you see? You feel very calm, very relaxed, and very, very peaceful. And you can hear birds singing to each other. And you can feel a gentle breeze on your face, and it's ruffling through your hair. Now in your field, you notice a lovely white fence, and it has a gate in the middle of it. So you stand up and you walk to the fence and you stop in front of the gate. You open the gate into a very beautiful garden. And this is a special garden. It's a very, very secret garden. It's a herb garden. And as you walk around this very special place, you see the flowers are growing everywhere. And there are so many different colours. But you can also see many, many different varieties of herbs. You even recognise some of them. Basil, sage, coriander, chives. You can even see a curry tree and a bay tree. Can you see them? You walk just a little bit further and you see a beautiful crystal bridge over a clear stream. And it shines and it sparkles in the sunshine. And you can hear the water splashing over the rocks that are dotted along the stream. It looks so cool and so inviting. You see tall green trees, lots of them. And in some of the trees, there are tiny lights hanging all around them, like little sparkles of happiness. This is a very special place. And you can come here when you feel you just want a quiet place to chill out. Or maybe just be by yourself for just a little while. You notice that there are a lot of big red toadstools in this beautiful garden, and they are very pretty. So you go over and take a look. And it's then that you realise that you have been this way before. Everything looks so familiar to you. The big red toadstools with tiny windows and even tinier flower boxes. They are tiny little houses. They are the tiny fairy houses. And you have been here before. Suddenly, one of the tiny doors open, and out pops a very tiny fairy, making little squeaky noises. The fairy flies up above your head, and then takes something out of a tiny bag and sprinkles it all over your head. She is sprinkling fairy dust on you, and as she does, you feel yourself getting smaller and smaller, and you feel yourself shrinking down to hair size, because this is the only way that you can enter the fairy kingdom. How exciting! Now that you are hair size, you can understand what she is saying to you. She is telling you that time does not exist here. She is asking you if you would like to take a proper look at her herb garden. You know the one. You just passed through it earlier. So you begin to walk back to the beautiful herb garden with the tiny fairy, when suddenly she stops, and again she takes some fairy dust out of her little bag. She flies above your head and sprinkles it on you again. Only this time you don't shrink. You grow wings. Fairy wings. And they just appear out of your back. Oh wow, you have wings. You can fly just like the fairy. Oh my. You flap your wings and rise up off the ground. It's so natural to you. You just know exactly what you need to do. You just know how to fly. You can fly. So for a few moments, just fly around the herb garden with the fairy. Have a look. See if you can identify any more of the herbs. two of you now land back down on the ground. And as you walk around the herb garden, the little fairy tells you about herself. And she tells you about the job that all fairies do. She tells you it is the job of all fairies everywhere to look after the land, to look after the earth itself. She tells you the fairies look after all animals and that we should always be kind to them and love them. Just because they can't talk like you do doesn't mean that they don't have feelings too. They too feel pain and sadness, just like you do sometimes. Fairies know things, especially about the earth. She tells you that sometimes Mother Nature cries because she gets so sad when we don't treat her properly, when we don't care about her like we should. This makes Mother Nature very sad indeed. She tells you that all fairies are very magical and have very special powers. And all fairies want to do is to help people find their way. But their main job is to look after the earth and all living creatures who can't always look after themselves. The little fairy stops and picks some basil. And she crushes a few leaves between her hands. And then she says a few magic words that you don't understand. But that's okay. She then throws the leaves up into the air and they land upon her. And then she disappears. Poof! She disappears. You can hear her laughing, but you can't see her. Then you hear her say a few more magic words. Again, you still don't understand. And hey presto, she is back again. What she has just done is shown you how special and magical she really is. She has shown you how special and how magical the herb garden really is too. She tells you that each herb has its own special magical powers. So for a moment, just take a little time to have a good look around the herb garden and find out what other magical powers the other herbs may possess. Maybe the little fairy will let you try some for yourself. Suddenly, you both hear a strange noise, but you don't know what it is. It sounds like an animal in pain, and this distresses the little fairy very much. So the two of you look around until you find a small bird with a broken wing. The little bird is in a lot of pain and looks so very sad and so frightened. The little fairy rushes to the bird and touches its broken wing. And as she does, something very special happens. As she does this, a beautiful golden glow comes out of her hands. And it sparkles and it shines with so much love. And all of this comes from the little fairy. It comes from her heart. The golden light surrounds the tiny bird. And as you watch, the golden glow takes all of the pain away from this tiny, frightened little bird. It takes away all of the fear so that the little bird starts to relax and starts to trust the little fairy. Next, the little fairy places both of her hands on the broken wing, and the golden light becomes a lot brighter. And you can feel the warmth from her hands where you're standing. And you can also feel the love that this little fairy has for this tiny little creature. After a few minutes, the little fairy stops and removes her hands from the bird's wing. The little bird stretches its wing very gently and begins to move it backwards and forwards just a little bit. The little bird's wing is no longer broken. The fairy has healed the little bird. And she did it with all of the love in her heart and with all of her healing abilities. Because that's what this special fairy does. She heals. The little bird stands back up and bows her head to the fairy in gratitude for what she has just done. The little bird then lifts her wings, rises, and then flies away. You feel so very special to have witnessed what this little fairy can do, to witness how much love she has for all living creatures. It's now time for you to return to your own home. But before you do, the little fairy has a very special gift for you. She reaches once again into her little bag and pulls out a magic amulet. This amulet can protect you against all negativity. This amulet can keep you safe. Can you see what it looks like? You thank this wonderful tiny fairy for this precious gift. You thank her for what she has shown you today and how she has made you understand that no matter what we do in this life, we should always be kind. We should always be kind to each other and to all living creatures. But for now, take a big breath in through your nose and gently breathe out through your mouth. Again, big breath in and gently breathe out through your mouth. One last time, big breath in and gently breathe out through your mouth. Now wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes. Give a great big stretch and slowly and gently open your eyes, knowing that you can come back and visit the little fairy anytime you want. And as you do open your eyes, you realise that no time has elapsed at all since you went to the magic herb garden. And you realise that the real world is still the same, but you are so much more special than you've ever been before.